Hey, everybody. I've been in Tupperware for 36 years, and I started when I was 5 years old. So I just want to clarify that before I get started. I'm going to first tell you a little bit about our pressure cooker. Oh my gosh. How many of you have ever used your own pressure cooker? Not the Tupperware one, but a pressure cooker like on the stove, or you plug it in where it makes that little noise. Well, my husband freaks out at that noise. He would never let me use a pressure cooker, and then Tupperware came out with one. So I'm going to start by telling you some of the safety features, because that's the reason that this one is some background noise. Unmute, please. All right, so I'm going to, first of all, you got to lift the handle, and it's not really a handle. I shouldn't have called it that. It's a lock. And it's there for a purpose, but I'll tell you that in just a minute. So we're going to remove the cover. I'm going to tell you about the safety features. One is we've got the silicone ring inside the cover, because that's going to allow it to seal and build up the steam, the pressure that it needs to actually cook. You got all kinds of directions inside the cover of, you know, how the maximum and the timing, and it holds 2 quarts and all that good stuff. We also have 2 additional silicone valves. This one over here will do a little bit of that spitting, like a little bit of spitting comes out, but you need that. It's going to control the pressure, but it's going to let some of it release while it is cooking. And then we've got the one over here that my husband calls the butterball turkey button in reverse. Because what happens is when you cook in it, that little button goes up, and then you have to wait until the button goes down, meaning the pressure has released, and then you can open it up. Now, when you go to put it on, there's a small arrow right here. There's also an arrow on the handle. So if we line those up and then we turn it, now here's another safety feature. There's a little valve right here, but when we put this locking mechanism on, it has a little cover here that closes it completely, and then you put that in and it is locked. So it's not going anywhere. It can't go anywhere. It doesn't blow up. You just want to make sure you've got your silicone ring inside and you've got your silicone valves here. And let me tell you, they pop out super easy for cleaning, and then you just pop them right back in. I will tell you to make sure the T part of this button is on the inside and the top part is on the outside. I put it in reverse once and it doesn't work that way. So just letting you know that. All right, so we've got the easiest recipe that we are making tonight. Who loves quick and easy recipes? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some noodles. These are frozen homemade egg noodles. They're very popular here in the Midwest. I think most people that I know that do noodles love these. So we're going to pour those in. And so that's what they look like. They're more like homemade noodles than the ones you buy in the little bag. They're a little thicker. These are frozen. I don't know, do you think we want all of it in there? Where's Bonnie? Okay. All right, then we've got some chicken breast. Now, when Bonnie was telling me about this recipe, she uses frozen chicken breast. We didn't have those with us. We just have the raw chicken breast, but we're just going to lay those in here on top or bottom. I guess it probably doesn't matter. Brian is the one that does most of the cooking. My husband does most of the pressure cooker cooking, but I'm just going to lay those in there right on top. And then here's our other secret ingredient. It's just chicken stock or chicken broth. It doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure you have enough that it's covering. The liquid is up and covering. I don't know how much you can see there. I can't see what you can see, but is it good enough? I'm still pouring. It's still going. It's still going. Get all of that goodness out. Using the whole darn thing. Perfect. And it's all done. Okay, that's all there is to it. I'm honest to goodness, I'm serious. Okay, now we're gonna go back again and we're gonna line up our arrows. And we're gonna twist it and put the lock down. And now what we're gonna do is put this in the microwave for 20 minutes. And then when it comes out, I'm gonna show you a couple more things and how we're gonna actually eat it a little bit later. So 20 minutes and I'll see you soon. So hello, welcome back. I'm excited to have you here. It smells so amazing in here. Am I right, Jenny?
Yes.
It smells amazing and you should be here. But before we open it up, I want to tell you about another product that we're going to use tonight. And this is our whipping mix. And the whipping mix is a really awesome tool that is an addition to some of the other great products we have. So as you can see here, it comes with a funnel. And let me just share with you, the funnel on one end has a big circle, the other end has a little circle. So that what that means is as you have it all the way to the small circle, that actually means it's closed and nothing you pour into the funnel will drain through. There are measurements inside the funnel as well. So as you're mixing something and you want to add a little bit to it, you can turn it a little and let it drizzle in while you're stirring, or you can open it up right all the way and let it just flow right down. That's a personal choice. We're not using that tonight, but I wanted you to know what that was. And it comes with the silicone valve that you just turn and press and it's closed again. So that's how that works. Then this particular item has two gears. One, and then gear two, where you really don't hear it, but it still works. It's so great when you're doing thick things. I mean, thick, like brownie mix is really thick, right? You will have to put it in gear two to be able to mix the brownie mix as it gets thicker. Many of the lighter things, like if you're putting in whipped topping, you want to go ahead and leave it in gear one and you can work with it that way. And what happens when you're turning it is these little spindles roll around and that's what makes it whip. So when this first came out, we did a little test. We had one with a bowl and a hand mixer and we put a cup of whipping cream in and I think it was 2 or 3 tablespoons of powder. We did the same thing in our whipping mix and the whipping mix made peaks before the hand mixer did. So it actually was more efficient, which is pretty awesome, I think. So we're going to use this to shred our chicken tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn it to the side and I'm going to have that ready. Now, are you ready for this? Oh my gosh. Okay, first thing we do is we remove the latch, right? Then and you see the little Butterball turkey button is down, right? So the button's down, meaning the pressure has released. And then we're going to turn the arrows line up and lift. And you always lift away from you. I would say unless you want a facial, but you don't want a facial. So you want to lift that away from you. And then here is what we have in the pot. Okay. So what I'm going to do to start with is just grab we put in 3 chicken breasts. So I'm going to grab those. And these are Tupperware tongs. Remember, these are awesome. If you don't have these yet, they snap right together. This one has a little indenture, so you can actually use it to move some broth. And the other one has the teeth. So depending on what you're picking up or what you're using it for, how that works. So now I've not used the whipping mix to shred chicken, but Pam insists that it works fine. So I'm going to give this a try for my first time, but look at these noodles. I mean, yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So I'm going to give this the shot. Or did you do one breast at a time? I haven't done this before.
Yeah, I do one breast at a time.
One at a time? Okay. Because I'm like, that seems like it's kind of difficult. Laying broth across the counter. That's Jan Mcdonough. I just am not the tidiest person ever, but we're going to do this. Okay. And then I'm going to hold on to it and I probably have to put it in here too. And let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
I knew you were going to do that.
That is mind blowing to me. Mind blowing that it can do that. I've always used our supersonic chopper to do that. All right, well, we'll put the shredded back in and we'll get another piece out. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. The chicken is so tender, and the way that the pressure cooker goes up and just really makes such a difference. Now, many of you have seen our Cooking with the McD show that we used to do, and Brian was always cooking, and he's made so many things in here. He's done white chicken chili. He's done chicken tortilla soup. He's done chili. He's done vegetable soup. I can't even remember. Some of you might even remember more some of the things he's done. He has done so many things in the pressure cooker because it's so easy to use. And like I said, with these, you've got the frozen noodles, but you can also have frozen chicken breast that you're throwing. This is just crazy. It really is. I'm like in awe, can you tell? I mean, isn't it fun? Woo-hoo. Okay, so we've got our chicken is all shredded. Now, you know, sometimes people will say, oh, but look at all that stuff you have to clean. Huh? It goes in the dishwasher, just like that. Yeah, it does. I've done it many times. So easy to use. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of the chicken out of here. And then we're gonna mix it up. Okay, so I also wanted to share, I guess I want to just tell you, when I joined Tupperware, people always say, oh, nobody recruits in December. Okay, I joined December 5th, 1989. Okay, December 5th, 1989. That's how long I've been in. I was never gonna have a party. I just wanted my
Why
discipline.
did you go over Jackass?
Whoops.
Pardon me? Um,
Somebody needs to mute themselves.
So anyway, I was never going to do a party. I just joined to get my kit, and I wanted all that Tupperware. I wanted to be able to buy Tupperware at a discount for myself. And so that's why I signed up. And what happened was a few months, somebody at church said, well, I want to have a party. And I'm like, you do? And so I had to think about it. Now, this is a big decision. Do I want to make the money, or do I want to let somebody else make the money? Right? So how hard could it be? Of course, I didn't attend any training, so I had no idea what I was doing. I started, her name was Nellie Kelly. She had a double wide mobile home up on a hill in Nokomis, Florida. And I went in and she goes, okay, Jan, everybody's here, we can start. So what did I do? I stood up in front of them and I said, hi, my name's Jan Mcdonough and I'm your Tupperware consultant. I just looked around at the people. I had no idea what to do next. So that's how I started. It's crazy, right? But it happened. So I did the party. I made some really great money. I didn't get any parties because I didn't ask anybody. I mean, that's what makes the difference is you have to ask. You know, and they can say no. And the first no is really kind of an automatic. Sometimes you have to say, well, if I could show you how you could earn $100 in free product, would you be willing to get some friends together? And that makes so much difference. So, so I did the party. I got into a couple of events. I started meeting people here and there, and I thought, well, maybe I could make some money. Then I was going to these. We have this, like PM has all these training classes, and I mean, so you guys are so spoiled. There's so much on video that you can just go grab. I drove an hour to go to a 2-hour class, had to get babysitter, all that, and so it was a success class kind of as a consultant, and we had to role play on each other, and I hate that. Oh, I hate that. But it's the most effective training you can do is to actually participate in a role play. So we had to interview each other, and we had this little brochure that we did our interviews with, and so we practiced. Well, that weekend I went out and recruited 4 people because I just was using this little new tool I learned. And I learned the right words and what to say and how to approach it, and recruited 4 people. So I stepped up to manager. And then we decided that maybe I should earn a car because we had bought in this van that was such a lemon. So then I started working for the car. And I remember my father-in-law going, yeah, right, laughing. And I got the first car and we drove it down to visit him. And he had an impromptu party. He was so excited about us getting this car that he invited all the neighbors over and we had a party. So Tupperware does so many different things. And I realize the car's not part of the program right now, but you get cash. So instead of a car, you get monthly cash to help you with your car payment or your insurance payment or whatever you want to use it for. So it's still fabulous. And I heard Jenny talk about the trips or getting what was that, the electronic package thing. I mean, the trips, there will be more coming. We're a new company. We're in our first year right now as the new Tupperware, and there's more things coming. But you know what? When you put a little effort in, what I tried to do was talk to 5 people a day, or I would mail out 5 flyers and then I would do my follow-up calls. And all the events and things going on right now, and I know lots of us are doing these events, but if you've got to follow up on those leads because that's where I really grew my business, making those follow-up calls. So if I'm at an event and they buy something, I would write on their slip what they bought. So that made it easier for me to do my follow-up calls. Oh, how is that stack cooker working for you? Or have you tried the ground beef in it yet? Or how's that pitcher working out? Do you love that it is sealed and airtight and liquid tight? So just making those follow-up calls and you're reconnecting. It's like a warm follow-up. It's not a cold call because you've met them. And I did, if I had the time. Sometimes you're too busy, you can't. But if you have the time to even make a few notes about the person, tall, thin, blonde, had a little child with them, things like that allows you, when you're making that follow-up call, to reconnect with them a little bit, letting them know you remember who they are, and that makes it a whole lot easier. So there's just a few things I wanted to share. But I mean, Tupperware has been my life for 36 years. My husband was even full time with me most of the time in Tupperware. If you want to make some serious money and you want to meet great people, and I remember Jenny talking about how the Tupperware people were so supportive of her. I was one of those people. Even when I became a business leader, my parents were like, when are you going to get a real job? They still didn't get it. I'm driving a free car, I'm doing trips, I'm making lots of money, and they wanted to know when I was going to get a real job. So, you know what? Don't let people poo poo on you because you are the only one that can decide what you want to do, how far you want to go, and motivate yourself to go put that effort in. That's what makes a difference. You are a rock star, you just haven't fully discovered that yet. And before you can actually be that rock star or feel like that rock star, you got to put the effort in up front. Because you can talk, but if you don't put the effort in to get a party or to get some orders or to connect with people, then it's kind of pointless, right? So I'm just going to encourage you to put the effort in because it makes a difference. And when people can watch you, I can't believe how many cooking shows there are on TV. You can set up your own YouTube channel or whatever and do your cooking shows. Let people see what you're doing. I mean, there's times that you don't have to set everything up really pretty. Of course, they have all these beautiful gift sets. And those of you that know me know that I didn't do those. But just you can make your business whatever you want it to be, but you got to do something to get something out of it. So, okay, so I've got all of our chicken mixed in here, and I'm going to just give you a little peek. Now, if this was at my house, my husband would have had me make mashed potatoes to put this on. But I mean, and you could add carrots or peas or anything like that if you wanted to. But there are our chicken and noodles. And, I mean, I don't know where the silverware are, but here, because Brian has always told me that I have to sample it in front of people so that they know if it's.
Anita says to blow it before you taste it.
Yeah, she knows. Yeah, she knows me. Don't forget to blow on it, kid. It's amazing what this pressure cooker can do. However, the chicken's so tender, the noodles are perfect. You might want to add a little salt and pepper or some kind of seasoning for yourself. But guys, this is so easy. And I don't think it really matters whether your chicken's on top or the noodles are on top. Just make sure you've got a liquid to cover it. You want a chicken broth or chicken stock will work best. It's so easy. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. That's what I hope. Get your pressure cooker out and try it.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
I think parsley would be beautiful on it, but Jenny and I love mushrooms. I bet that'd be good to make with mushrooms.
I bet
Yeah.
it would too. I can think of lots of things I would.
Yeah.
So
They say you can add a can of cream and chicken soup too if you wanted to, but I
yeah,
think
it's
that
really.
adds a lot of calories.
I'm going with
Look how creamy it
I'm
is.
going with the mushroom.
Yeah.
I know, right? Me too.